welcome to the Bumper Breakfast Show on NITV Plus. It is a delight to be here on a Thursday morning, and of course, I have two gentlemen with me. They're regular faces on the program, but every Thursday I sit on this table. I'm excited to be with them. Okay, so let me do the introduction very quickly. Adebayo Ilupeju sits to my far left. Good morning, Adebayo. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning, Tom, and good to see you looking this radiant this morning. I think you come with an extra energy today. There must be something in the offing that is bringing that much energy. Well, it feels good to be on the table. It's always exciting. And it's nice to be here to have breakfast with you, fellow Nigerians. And so I'm all upset for it.
And we have the man in black. The man in black. Rio, good morning.
Before I even greet Nigerians, I'll greet myself or anybody. You guys, look at glamour. The real definition of glamour. Look at this trans. So you said she came with like another energy,
yes,
like one
extra.
special energy. There's a way you carry yourself. There's this level of fashion that you know that what you are wearing is original and is a great dress. And then don't worry, that energy will just come from nowhere, and you'll be like, okay, Michelle, I was really admiring her. I mean, just thank God that we are not in the same generation, and you are like my mother. Happy because you are beautiful, and I love your dress. It's so fantastic. So I had to like cross my leg and sit so that at least I'll be big enough, Good morning, Nigerians. It's a delight to be on the table this morning. I love it when I'm, sitting between Adeton and of course, Tom Aderele and
you already talked it.
Tom Aderele and Adebayo Ilupeju. They are fantastic people. You will learn something. I kid you not. I am Ambassador Robin Emmanuel Oluwafemi. Welcome and good morning.
And my name is Tom Aderele. Yes, I am excited today. Yesterday, my daughter gave birth to a baby girl.
No, we are right now.
So now
You're right.
That's my sixth grandchild.
Wow.
I am totally excited, and I am grateful and humbled. And I thank God. So yes, I am excited.
Congratulations.
Very, very correct.
Today, next week Thursday. So once we finish, Power Everybody party.
No, is it not
Como
Wednesday?
is Wednesday.
Okay, yes, I
How
just
you
said
baby
today.
like,
people like me.
Okay, Wednesday, by God's grace. Wednesday. Oh, we shall be there.
We will need to.
By God's grace. Okay, back to serious business now. Tinubu signs amended Electoral Act 2026 into law. Well, that's what we have this morning. Let me quickly take that story. President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday signed the Electoral Act 2026 amendment into law just days after the Independent National Electoral Commission released the timetable for the 2027 general elections. The signing took place at the Presidential Villa Abuja around 5 p.m. on Wednesday, with principal officers of the National Assembly in attendance. The National Assembly had passed the bill on Tuesday. The amendment reignites debates over the electronic transmission of election results. Civil society groups and some opposition figures have long pushed for real-time transmission of results from polling units to INEC's central server, arguing that it would curb manipulation and strengthen credibility. Protesters had last week disrupted the National Assembly complex to demand live transmission, citing failures during the 2023 elections when INEC's results viewing portal collapsed, triggering widespread allegations of rigging. While the ruling All Progressive Congress supports technology adoption, some stakeholders argue that areas with poor telecommunication infrastructure require a phased or hybrid approach, allowing manual collation where electronic system fails. The 2027 general elections are scheduled to hold on February 20th, for presidential and National Assembly elections, and March 6th for governorship and state houses of assembly elections. Well, that's actually the story. You know how it is when you're reading from the internet, and there's a lot of distractions,
Yeah,
adverts, and
adverts
everything. So
running.
it's usually difficult to coordinate. So I apologize if there was any stuttering. All right, so that's the story laid on the table for us to discuss. Our president has passed, has signed the amended Electoral Act 2026 into law. Now, Adebayo, what does this mean for you?
Um, there's been so much hula baloo about this signing and not signing, and then the immediacy of this signing. So, but let's look at it first from the angle of the fact that our electoral law has eventually been reviewed. So it's a good one from that end. But where we might flaw it, or where the flaws lie, is in the area of how fast it was signed. And as Nigerians, because now I'm talking based on the conversations that I have seen, Nigerians are angry that the president is given 30 days to review and get back to the House or Assembly, as the case may be. But this has only taken about for less than 24 hours. But is it about the time? For me, it's not exactly about the time. It's just that Yoruba people say, "Kashi bo se nse, ko le ba bo se ri." You understand? So that's on the side. For us, it's a good one. I also understand that based on this law, Nigerians do not have to go and queue to collect their voters card anymore, which is, for me, it's one of those things that I always have issues with, that why do we have to suffer to get something as simple as a voter's card? Biometrics have been taken, all those necessary things have been done. Why do we have to go through this? And it relates to similar cases of where you have to get cards for things in Nigeria. Apart from your bank card, I don't think there's anything you get in less than 24 hours.
Even the bank cards is quite recently, about a couple of years ago, you had to queue,
You understand?
Yeah, but now, it's so much better.
that is, so there are positive vibes in it, but the negative vibe of why do they have to sign this thing so quickly? What is the secrecy? In fact, some people have gone as far as saying INEC was not consulted on this, that INEC didn't go through, that INEC had a part to play, the Ministry of Finance had a part to play. They mentioned quite a lot of bodies that were supposed to see it right from the desk of the president. It was the president that was supposed to order this. But on my own, I started thinking, like, how you just have that second thought about things, that could it be that the challenges that would come ahead of this law have already been seen? All these parts that I listed that is supposed to have happened before the president finally signs, probably all that part had been played, and this only was brought to the surface. And you know how maybe more of a reverse psychology, where all the parties that are supposed to be in the know are already in the know. It's just not in the news. Because in Nigeria, every step you make, every step you take in Nigeria, there's somebody who is out there to leak it. At least the past couple of days, the kind of dramas that we've had, and what's the basis for that drama. So on one end, I tend to want to stay on the side of the president on this, that they must have dotted the I's and crossed their T's. But the coming days will actually let us know. So for me, the fact that there's that review has been done, then we are moving gradually. And you recall that I've always said it on this table, I prefer that we take a step than not moving at all. So even if it takes us 1 year to take one step, we have taken one step. I prefer that to just rigmaroling and just running around in circles. So let's see what the coming days hold. Probably, maybe they've done the right thing, and we're only assuming that they've done the wrong things.
Real. You know something about Rio. He makes, he always makes. I don't know. When the one person is talking, he's not talking. He puts me in suspense, kind of, because I'm trying to imagine what he's
His body
thinking,
language.
because his body language is always, doing one thing or the other, or he's either
Okay,
keeping
now.
quiet or he's adjusting himself, and I'm like, what's this guy young man thinking about?
A lot of things like this happen in palaces. I
Yes.
think I've asked you before whether you've lived in a palace or something.
Okay.
I just try to listen and learn from the best. They are the best. Well, if I would make any contribution to that, I think firstly, Nigerians are making a request, and the president, by God's grace, happened to be one of the fastest time that he answered Nigerians. Like,
Yes,
let's
yes.
say, I kid you not, I want to believe that the president must have heard about this electronic transmission, not this year, not last
Yes.
year. And one thing about our president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he always like to wait, at the end of your own protests, and that's where he's going to take up his own. And he's a very quiet person. He don't just come out to talk. For him to have signed in less than 24 hours, trust me, they already saw all the implications, advantages and disadvantages. But I don't have problem with all of these Senate are coming. First, I'm disappointed in our Senate and our House of Rep. As a matter of fact, I'm of the opinion that the Federal House of Representatives should be scrapped totally, and maybe we increase the senators to like 5 in a state, if at all we want to expand them, because it's of no use. That firstly, you have different platform where you can even vote, but you want to do high and nail. Then you say the high, you have it, then you hit your hammer. To me, I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. That was nonsense, honestly speaking. That was nonsense.
Real.
When you have a WhatsApp platform that you can just do a WhatsApp poll and then put it to
And you can
Nigeria,
get
let
our
them see.
we can see the results.
For you to have mic in your front that you can talk shows that you can have a button, press red or press green. Just advance. Now, I still don't have problems with all of those. I have problem with the Independent National Electoral Commission. They are not independent. All you have to do is Professor Amukbiton. I mean, you tell the president or you inform Nigeria, in this modern world, we cannot continue to follow the analog brain. Let's go digital. This is the system or the way by which we want to conduct 2027 election. We are Independent National Electoral Commission. We should tell you how we will conduct the election. Oh, we are going to conduct this election and transmit in blue. Then when election comes and you transmit in red, we know that you are going to prison. So you should inform the government, the National Assembly, the president. This is the way we want to conduct election. We are not going the usual way. We want to conduct it so that they will be free and fair. It will be fast. The result will be transmitted electronically. People will get fast result. It will be easy for us to count vote. Not for you to start making, oh, let's go to National Assembly. You are telling, it's like you are asking a thief, what kind of lock should you put in your door? They now have to sit down and deliberate. Let's not use jam key. It will be too hard. Let's use it. No, you don't do that. That's the way I feel. If not, remove independence. Let's just call it Nigeria Electoral Commission instead of Independent National Electoral Commission. There is nothing independent about this. If you really check, they are not making any decision for themselves. All you have to do is you are independent. Tell the president. One of the problems why this is happening is because the constitution allows the president to choose and pick, appoint the INEC chairman. To me, which is not even right. If something is independent, then it should not be appointed. We should get a chairman by merit or examination. But you have people who have conducted election in different states. You can bring them. There are people in that commission who even understood the movement better than Professor Amukwiton.
Yeah.
This is a lecturer. Then you just bring him to come and head this place. No, he can come as a supervisor, or just somebody, or like auditor. But bringing him to say do this, then giving him the order. I'm sure by now it's kind of handicap to even make decision. because they have to take it to Senate. It is election. The Senate or the president cannot decide how you are going to transmit election. To me, my best of knowledge, I might be wrong, but the president appointed you, and you still want to, follow the normal style of, transmitting election results. So if you want to do this, tell them this is what we want to do, then they should approve it. It should not be any form of act or whatever. It should be approved. This is it. We are transmitting on red. On election day, everybody is focused on red. Anything that comes in blue is cancelled. And if you insisted and then you broadcasted or transmitted in blue, we know that you are going to prison. That should be the implication. But for me, both presidents, both National Assembly, House of Representatives, they are just tampering with the emotions of Nigerians. Honestly speaking, I think the Independent Electoral Commission should be maybe Dependent Electoral Commission. There's nothing independent about it.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
I'm not impressed.
I kind of support you, Rio, because really what they did is they shot themselves in the foot. What they should have done, like Rio rightly recommended, is make a proposal. This is what we are proposing should happen, and then go about it the normal way. Because if according to Rio, if they are actually independent, then they should be setting the pace.
According to Rio.
they should be setting the pace, they should be setting the standards, you understand, and then everyone else should follow. But you see, that's the problem with Nigeria. We don't allow the system to run itself the way it should. Everybody wants to have a say. It is a man no man thing, it is an authority thing, it's a status symbol thing. And that's the problem. How do we want Nigeria to get better? We actually need to let things happen the way they should happen. Let the system take its toll. Let be processes and procedures in place so that it can run on its own. Unfortunately, we keep saying this on the table every single day, but I don't know, nobody seems to be listening. However, guess what? We're going to continue to play our part, whether you like it or not. We will play our part, and we know that one day, something good will happen to Nigeria. All right, time to move on. Again, the president has signed an executive order to protect Nigeria's oil and gas revenue. I'll take that story quickly. President Bola Tinubu has taken a major step to safeguard and enhance Nigeria's oil and gas revenues by signing an executive order aimed at stopping wasteful spending, eliminating overlapping structures in the sector, and ensuring that resources are properly redirected for the benefit of Nigerians. Under the new order, NNPC Limited will no longer collect the 30% Frontier Exploration Fund, nor the 30% management fee on profit oil and profit gas previously. These deductions meant that a significant portion of the Federation's oil revenue was being held back, despite existing funds being sufficient to cover NNPC's operational needs. From now on, all payments including royalties, taxes, profit oil, profit gas, and even gas flare penalties will go directly to the Federation account, ensuring that federal, state, and local governments receive their rightful share. The executive order addresses concerns over the PIA structure, which had created multiple overlapping deductions and allowed NNPC to influence costs while functioning as a commercial entity. By removing duplicative fees and funds, the government aims to increase transparency, reduce leakages, and reposition NNPC strictly as a commercial operator. President Tinubu emphasized that the reforms are urgently needed to support national budgeting, debt sustainability, economic stability, and social development, particularly in areas like security, education, healthcare, and energy transition projects. He also approved a review of the Petroleum Industry Act in consultation with stakeholders to address structural and fiscal abnormalities. To ensure proper implementation, a committee composed of ministers NNPC representatives, the Budget Office and the Nigeria Revenue Service will oversee execution. The reforms take effect from February 13th, 2026, making a new era of accountability, efficiency, and fairness in Nigeria's oil and gas sector. I think I should have said the reforms took effect, even though the story says take effect. This executive order is more than a policy update. It is a clear signal that Nigeria's natural resources will now be managed with greater transparency, efficiency, and benefit to our people. Again, it's on the table, it's up for discussion. Tinubu signs executive order to protect Nigeria's oil and gas revenue. Adebayo Ilukoyi, let's look at this holistically.
So, over the years, we've heard stories of X trillion missing, X trillion naira in NNPC accounts not accounted for, and such similar stories. And so, if this is happening now, it is long overdue that what should be our commonwealth, we should have a way of, well, hopefully it becomes our commonwealth still. We should have a way of sending it to our common purse, where we all know, okay, oh, NNPC and maybe related bodies have done their own part. The dividends, the excesses, whatever it is that has to be, that is for us, has a place it goes to. Let us have these funds pulled together. Don't let other bodies be responsible for the distribution of that wealth now in this case. Let the owner of the wealth be the distributor of the wealth. So that's the simple language for presenting it. So it's a welcome idea, but Nigerians now have to be more demanding, because the president said it is for the sake of transparency. It's for the sake of preventing waste and accountability. So if that be the case, then we should accept it, but then we should also accept our own responsibility of continually, because now we can't say that Nigerians don't demand accountability, but we should now learn.
Do Nigerians demand accountability, really?
We do, we just don't demand for it in the appropriate manner. And so I was going to wrap it up to say that we should learn how best to demand for accountability from our leaders or all the parastatals that are meant to be serving us. We demand accountability from the perspective of we against them. And once you are coming with that notion, you will never get the answer you demand, because there's already an ulterior motive. You are not making that demand for the benefit of the generality. It's not for our benefit. You are asking because you have an ulterior motive. If I come to you, there's a way that I would come to ask either a favor or even to demand a right. That as soon as I ask you, you know that, oh, I owe this guy an explanation on this. But when you come to say, if I come to you and I say, if he was real now, I've not made my demand, but I just come to you that if he was real, that is in charge of this thing, he will come to me and tell me what I need, or he will give me what I need. Why are you not giving me? I started with a comparison, and I have stylishly told you that Rio is better than you. So in a natural course, what
do you expect?
What result am I going to get? And if you really take a cursory look at events of things in Nigeria over the years, that's the pattern it takes. So even when you are not in government and you are not exactly in opposition, you want to speak the language of opposition. So people in government have also come to that state of anybody who is not in their immediate circles is against them. But there are Nigerians that are not politicians. There are Nigerians who are not interested in politics. All they just want is a good country, where things work. So Nigerians in that category should be able to talk to power in a way that power will know that, see, we are just calling you to give account of what you are doing. We are not interested in your position. We are only interested in you doing the right things. But we're always talking as if we are against each other. You can advise me, and I will know that, oh, this is out of love. This is genuine advice. Not when you advise me in a condescending manner.
Or chastise you.
What's wrong with this and this? You understand? And even to our kids, that's what happens. So we all need to have a way that we push back and forth to each other in a healthy manner. So for me, I think it's still a positive one again. Hopefully, we benefit from it, we the people, so that it's not like money in the bag again and then somebody runs with it.
Well, I'm looking for that one day that we will benefit, because they're talking about the federal, state and local governments, so that everybody has their share. Ultimately, these things are supposed to trickle down to
The
the
masses.
masses, but let's watch and see. Real,
Yeah.
speak.
Well, honestly, I feel like Adebayo Lupeju had spoken a whole lot about it. This is a sector that I only know little about, but as long as Nigeria is concerned, we know it's one of our major source of income. And what I've come to realize about it is, I was trying to see the disadvantages of, that bill or that act, but then it looks like host community will be excluded sort of, because the federal executive power is going to mount everything and take charge. And again, if you see that there is a whole international development in Nigerian favor, I don't know, maybe you understand what I'm trying to say, because it looks like Nigeria is doing well outside the country. And one of the things that is helping us is this oil, because of Dangote's refinery. And just this morning I was saying, if Dangote the refinery can bring us this far, what happened to government putting effort in the Port Harcourt refinery, Warri refinery, Katsina refinery, and see how in 2023 the imported fuel to Nigeria was about $25-26 billion. Because of Dangote's refinery and its functionality, in 2024 it reduced to about $16 billion. In 2025 it reduced to about $6 billion. In 2026 it might reduce to $2 billion. That means we don't longer go abroad to get fuel again before we get the fuel rather. And we have it in our house and we have it in excess. And now other country, neighboring states are now coming to buy from Nigeria, which is one of the reasons why the president need to sit down again and feel like, oh, we have to protect this thing very well. The Niger Delta already demanding for their 13% from what they have been getting from their community. So all of these things needs to be settled so that we don't start building another insurgency from the southern part. We already had them once upon a time, the militants, and were able to arrange it and sort them, and they preached education to them. And I'm sure they are getting whatever thing they should get. So I think it's a good one from the president. The risk there is just, I hope they would not personalize it too much and use this act to defend their own selfish interest. Because what I've come to realize in Nigeria is they pass a bill that only favors them. Once it's not going to favor them, they don't. So for the president to have come on time and say, I'm going to sign this thing, he must have thought about it left, right, and say, okay, we are in control, let's sign it, let it go. We are in control, let's sign it. Because there are a lot of bills that we are expecting Nigerian government to sign today that they are yet to sign. I'm not blaming the president, because democracy can be very, very slow sometimes. You have to take each step at a time. This one of the reasons why I feel like they should scrap the Federal House of Representatives, because what's the point of having them when it's still the same assignment they will do with the Senate? So it's just like wasting taxpayers' money. Let's just have 5 senators and end Federal House of Representatives. Then we will be able to hold people accountable, because Though you will go to a particular place, they will tell you, oh, is not the senator that is in charge of this thing. Go and look for who is the federal representative of this. And all of them are collecting constituency project fund. And we are not seeing anything. So what's the point? But for president, I think it's all well and nice when we want to pass a bill in favor of the country and you are ready to sign. It's good, provided that the general populace will benefit from this. It's a good one, likewise, until when it proves otherwise.
And I don't even know what is stopping states from having refineries. I mean, if every state,
I think now we are almost in that space. But
Almost. They've not started generating their own electricity.
There's always a hand of the federal government in it. That's just the thing.
Of course,
I
that's
remember
true.
the Ogun State one recently, and Ogun State people are jubilating over that.
over what?
Over the
Refinery.
discovery,
Fuel.
and they want to go into production soon. So
I think we need to verify that there's actually that it's
And
actually
your
discovered. Because I remember there was a time that the governor was saying that, the government
said
had
that's
planted
oil.
some rice. There was a rice
Oh.
farm. Apparently, it was a private thing.
I guess
You
they're in
know,
partnership today.
So we have to. You see, some of these things we need to actually verify, especially when it's coming from certain quarters.
Certain quarters. Oh my
That's a loaded
No
statement.
coolest now. No.
Ramadan Lent coincidence, a divine call for unity, peace. And that's coming from the president. Let's see the story. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Wednesday said the 2026 Ramadan fasting period, coming at the same time as the Christian Lenten season, offers Nigerians a rare opportunity to reunite and strengthen peace and stability across the country. The president stated this in Abuja while declaring open the 2026 Ramadan Tafsir at the State House Mosque, where he called on citizens to embrace unity. Did I get it right?
Tafsir, yes.
Tafsir, okay. Collaborating and mutual understanding as both faiths observe their sacred seasons. In a statement issued by his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga, Tinubu said, fellow Muslims, coincidentally, this Ramadan period coincides with the beginning of the Christian Lent. We thank God for this. He described the overlap as a divine signal to Nigerians on the urgent need to rise above differences and build a stronger nation anchored on shared values. God Almighty is giving us a sign of the need of the need for unity, collaboration, peace and stability in our country, he added. Tinubu reminded Muslims that the essence of Ramadan goes beyond fasting, stressing the importance of drawing closer to God and living out the virtues of compassion, forgiveness and love for fellow citizens. As we start this Ramadan, we know from the teachings what it brings to us, but I must reiterate the principal thing, which is to get closer to God, to do goodness to the people, to share love and faith, to forgive one another, he said. The president also used this occasion to seek understanding and forgiveness in the spirit of the season, in line with the teachings of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him. He urged Muslims to sustain goodwill and commitment to nation building, not only during the 30 days of fasting, but beyond, as part of a lasting culture of service, tolerance, and civic responsibility. Well, for us as Muslims, we need to continue to act in goodwill and commitment to nation building, not only in the next 30 days, but beyond what the fasting period requires of us, Tinubu said. He also called for prayers for Nigerians in distress and for the nation's stability, expressing confidence that divine guardians would help the country overcome its challenges. Pray for those who are in need. Pray for our country. God will give us the answers to our problems. May all of us see the end of this Ramadan and many more to come, he said. In a pointed security-related appeal, Tinubu prayed for God's help in confronting terrorism, banditry, and other criminal activities threatening communities across the country. May Allah continue to be with us, guide our country, defeat terrorism and all acts of banditry in this nation, he added. In his sermon, the chief imam of the State House Mosque, Sheikh Abdul Wahid Abubakar Sulaiman, prayed for the president's continued strength and good health as he pursues policies aimed at improving the welfare and well-being of Nigerians. The event attracted top government officials, including the chairman of the National Government Forum and the governor of Kwara State, Abdulrahman Abdul Razak, the chief of staff of the president, Femi Gbajabiamila, and the minister of information and national orientation, Mohammed Idris. Well, the story continues on and on, but the meat of the matter, the main, story that we are looking at is Ramadan Lent coincides coincidence, a divine call for unity and peace, and that's coming from the president. Well, what he's saying is that this is very coincidental. Sometimes while Ramadan is on, the Lent season starts midway, or vice versa. But this time, both are starting at the same time. Of course, it is very unique, and the president is saying that this is well. I don't know if it's a coincidence. I think it's more divine. But the president says it's a coincidence, but it is a coincidence that calls for unity and peace. Adebayo, you are a Muslim. Rio is a Christian. Let's hear from you what you think about the president's statement and what you think about this coincidence, in quotes, the Lent and the Ramadan clashing. What's your take on
well,
this?
Well, I think the first thing for us to look at is what does the season actually portend in both faiths, in Christianity and also in Islam. It is a period when we reflect and when we get compassionate, we experience what others, especially for those who are comfortable, they reach, what the common man faces. Beyond these statements, but in the real sense of it, this is what it actually means. There's somebody out there who doesn't have anything to eat, who doesn't have clothes to wear, who doesn't even have hope. So it's a period where it's a sober reflection moment. You want to be at peace with yourself, ultimately, and then with your maker. And how else can you do that except by depriving yourself of most of the pleasures of this world? Those things that you really love to do, you take yourself away from them. And when I say what you love to do, there's hardly any human being who does not like to eat food. And there are a few young men who can afford to see a beautiful woman and not look at them twice. There are a couple of people who cannot afford not to go to the beer parlor every evening. There's just so many, and there are so many people that will pass by a pregnant woman who is crying, holding a child, and is crying out that we don't have what we don't have hope for the next meal. So this period puts you in that state of mind for you to see. And then so if it's now coming from the presidency or the president himself, it shows that, okay, we realize that this period that we are in, God has brought both Muslims and Christians together. Muslims and Christians are in a period where they have to deprive themselves of the pleasures of this world. They have to be in that moment of reflection. So the president is saying it from that angle, not even from that ultimately divine point of view, but from the human perspective. Muslims are fasting, Christians are fasting. What is the cry of the common man? They want leadership to feel the pains, to put themselves in the shoes of the common man, the man who doesn't have a job, who doesn't know where the next meal is coming from. As a leader, if you are able to get to that state of soberness, you might just be moved enough to be able to see that, oh, that boy in Ajegunle needs shoes, needs education. How can and we provide these things. So this is that moment, and I think those are issues that cuts across, whether you are a Muslim, whether you are a traditional believer, whether you are a Christian. So the president's statement connects, and I think that's probably where he's coming from. But then, to people who don't see that deep enough, I think we all should start to see through those lenses, and that speaks to all of us and all of our leaders.
Thank you so much, Adebayo. Rio, let's hear what you have to say about it. You're a Christian. You've heard what the president has said. In your opinion, do you think that it carries weight, or do you think it will touch some people? Do you think some people will look at that statement and decide to bring peace to Nigeria? Do you think they would unify?
It will not carry any weight. It will not carry any weight, and it doesn't touch anybody. Yes, I love the perspective of Adebayo Ilupeju. To me, it was more like a sermon, what he had just said, and it carries both Christianity and Islam, what he has just said. But unfortunately, I am coming from a different angle. The angle that the highest place where you can find hypocrisy is the religious body, Christian, Muslim. If indeed all the fasting they have been fasting as a leader, they fasted according to what's it called? To the scripture, to the rules and regulations, to the commandments of God, the Almighty Allah, and to the commandment of God Almighty. If that was what has been happening, Nigeria should not be in this shape by now. So sometimes there are some statements that are politically driven. They just have to make it because of the moment. On a normal day, it is not just yesterday the president should be preaching something. It's a daily thing. He's a good leader in his own way. He's a strategist in his own way. But see, you have to understand that you should know how to talk with Nigeria in different way, because when you want to communicate with Nigerians now, you use different approaches to talk with them. You use command, you use persuading, you use bargaining, different ones to communicate with the people. But when it comes to because we are fasting, see, if you bring devil to come and talk, he will say exactly the same thing in this period, and it does not still change anything. We are in a country where we'll be hearing different things, rumors about men of God. And we're in a country, I think last year or last 2 years, the person that was in charge of this Mecca, the Hajj, embezzled billions of money. And the same person is fasting at the moment as we speak. We are dealing with El-Rufai with about 432 billion naira. I am sure by now he's fasting because he's a conk Muslim. And if you talk about the length, the Christians too, check about, I don't want to start mentioning names, the recent pastor that Ogala was dragging, by now they will be fasting too. Yesterday, Ash Wednesday, I saw cross on everybody's head, just give them 30 minutes. They will come back to the world. No, I'm just saying it should not be like I am of the let me use this illustration. I am of the opinion that it's not only Valentine's Day you should buy gifts for your loved ones. You can go out and see something that fits your husband or wife and you just buy it. You see, on Valentine's Day, if by chance or something happened by accident or whatever, you don't have enough with you to buy gifts, your spouse or partner will understand that okay, it has to be that this person does not have money. So when it's only Valentine's Day that you get to buy, that's why on election day you see Nigerians saying, let's collect what we can collect now. Once we collect, but if we were collecting every day through infrastructures, better education, good healthcare facilities, we won't be rushing to say let's collect now.
The sticker bread. Nobody will chase
you understand? So president coming is fine. It's a normal thing you should do because you're in a position to do it. But asking if that will change the mindset of Nigerian politicians, Nigerians as a country or as a people, I doubt it. Because if you want to change, once upon a time there was no Christianity, there was no Islam. They introduced these two religions to us and then we are practicing. the people that are the traditional rulers, some of them are even more better than us, because you cannot just call what's it, maybe Ogun for a joke in presence of Ogun, or God is a forgiving God. He has, the mercy is, you know, is sufficient enough for us to come back and come back and come back again. So to me, president has just spoken as a president and what we need to hear, not, you know, what we. So I just follow the sermon of Adebayo. We should just be good people. That's me. So that's it. Your Excellency, apologies, but you know, let's say we say the same thing. So we see.
Well, actually, I agree with Adebayo and I agree with Rio, because truth is, when you're asking for peace and unity, it starts from the top. So you need to ensure, sir, Mr. President, sir, that you know, that Nigerians are able to unify under good circumstances. It's not just religious circumstances. Circumstances, just as Rio said, where the healthcare services, you know, favor them. You know, where there's food, where there are good roads. You know, where they're naturally happy. You know, within their environment or within, you know, the communities that they live. Then there would be reason to unify, because if, for example, the road in my area has been fixed, I would be saying to my neighbor, did you see them working on the road? I mean, that's bringing us together gradually, and some other people will see us and join that crowd and all of that. So I think these things start from the top, and when people are full, you know what I'm saying, full, not full the bread and the rice for the elections, but full the everyday one, that they can go to the market and afford to buy what they feel like eating. They have, you know, the resources to do so. I promise you, Mr. President, that there will be unity and there will be peace in the country. So I know that you are doing the best that you can, but they say the reward for hard work is more work. We're demanding that you put in more work. All right, on that note, we'll take a break on the Bumper Breakfast Show right now, but when we return, we will be looking at the newspapers. Please don't go anywhere. It's MITV Plus, and it's the Bumper Breakfast Show. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
We're kicking your year off
in all her glory
with more, because we've got you.
You know that I got it.
You get it?
We got kicks, we got scores, we got action, we got roars.
It's my specialty.
We got drama, we got fun. We got more for everyone.
Bingo.
You know that I got it. You know that I got it.
Come get it. Come get with us and stick with us too. And boom, there's an upgrade on us just for you.
We got you.
More channels, more shows, more reasons to stay.
Perfect.
For the fam, for the crew, more for you every day. Yes, we've got more of everything you need to start your year with extra joy.
You know that I got it.
Thank you.
DSTV, we've got you all the way.
You know that I got it.
Ramadan, the only month of blessings and forgiveness, is here again. This is an opportunity for corporate bodies to grow their brands and individuals to enjoy unending blessing from Allah by way of sponsoring any of our ARI programs, specially packaged for this Ramadan period. You can sponsor our call to prayer, Ramadan Tafsir, Taraweeh live from Holy Kaaba, Makkah and Medina, Iftar Family Quiz Show, dawn transmission from 3 to 7 a.m. and lots more at affordable cost. For information on how you can be part of this program, contact our marketing department for details or call any of the following lines: 0803 300 4531 or 0803 515 8756 or 002 928 0721. Ramadan Mubarak.
You're welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast Show. It's time for us to take a peep at at the lucky stories that made it into the dailies this morning, and I'm using Rio's words. That's how he usually presents it. And I'm going to start with the Punch newspaper and the above the nameplate. ICPC grills El Rufai after EFCC releases. That story for me is very important because ICPC has picked him up. We understand that DSS will pick him up immediately after that.
ICPC is still cheating on DSS because it was DSS that said they will pick him up first now.
Yeah. So.
What a celebrity.
Whoa. FCT polls 3,345 beavers deployed, movement restricted. FX for business travel soar by 366% to $672 million. The banner
I
headline
wanted
of
to
the
know if that thing is positive. Adebayo Lipoji, did you get that one she just read?
Okay.
Tom, please, can you repeat it again?
Okay.
FX.
FX for business travels soars by 366% to $672 million. I think we should just. You want
It's
us
positive,
to.
Abi.
You want us to read the story?
Because it
Okay.
says
More
swans.
Nigerians gained access to foreign exchange,
Oh,
boosting
okay.
their spending on
Positive.
business travels by 366% to $672.27 million
Okay.
in the first 9 months of 2025, up from $144.19 million recorded in the corresponding period of 2024.
Okay, that's I just want to be sure. No, you know, because the president has been saying he wants to make the $1 trillion economy. I don't think he wants to involve fuel.
But
or oil.
this is biting away from it. Interestingly, that this is money going out. But what makes it good is the fact that if tomorrow you decide to go to Australia or wherever you want to travel to,
Okay.
the headache that you go through in getting even that your small change as an individual
Yeah.
is kind of out of the way. And for a businessman too, who probably wants to do exchange abroad and probably bring something back in, that is almost towards the area of ease of doing business pretty much. So the previous year, you scamper a lot, but this year or this quarter that they just reported, it was almost as if there was no scampering. And then when you now look at it, those is the Dangote factor, because our oil and gas sector grabs the bulk of our forex most of the time. They are the ones that really eat most of it. So I think this has now, it's a reflection that, we don't have so much of that headache anymore. So as for people like Tom, yes, they can relate. People like us, we know fit to.
Yeah. We only work
Not
within
serious, is
Ogun
he?
State and Lagos State.
He's just joking, really.
He's not the joker.
All right. The banner headline of the Punch newspaper: Electoral Act 2026. Tinubu defends assents and opposition raises hell. PDP Labour Party raise red flags. Tinubu defies protests as APC predicts credible polls. Do you have anything to say about that?
I didn't get it.
Okay. Tinubu defends assents. Opposition raises hell. PDP Labour Party raise red flags and Tinubu denies protests as APC predicts credible
I think
polls.
No,
there
I
was
want
something
to,
that struck
I wanted to be sure because I saw the video where President was saying, maybe that's the asset they were talking about. When President was saying, normally everything we do at the polling unit is manual. As long as they will give you a ballot paper, you are going to go to a corner. He said you will go to a corner. You vote for your party. You fold the paper, put it in the box. They will still count it manually. Before then, they now transmit it to the president was somehow, he was playing a game.
Let me take the first paragraph
Okay.
of the story. Opposition parties and civil society organizations have condemned President Bola Tinubu's assent to the Electoral Act 2026 amendment, describing the move as a setback to Nigeria's democratic progress and a legalization of electoral manipulation ahead of 2027 general elections.
Well, they always say politics is a game, Abby, and
It's a
they're
dirty
all
game.
and they're all playing it. So that's of course we were wondering why was the president very fast to sign this bill, and he said he has about 30 days to sign, and he signed in less than 24 hours. And now opposition party are coming. If the president had delayed it, opposition party will come. President signed, opposition party came, and the president
delayed too much.
and he needs to be president, so it's fine. I understand that it's coming from opposition.
It's an interest. You know, when you reacted, I thought you wanted to say PDP. At this time.
I think it was PDP that even funds the opposition
Yeah,
movement.
they are raising hell. The PDP and Labour Party, they are raising red flags.
Later, the ADC are still quiet about it. They haven't said anything.
Because ADC now, you know, because of the elements within the ADC, there's been different conversations around this thing. That one of the prospects in the ADC, they brought videos from 2023 or pre-2023 elections where certain people insisted that you should make it electronic.
Okay.
And if that can be achieved, then forget it, you are going to win this election. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at all this drama and the role that the presidency is playing in it, it's not an uninformed, all these conversations are conversations that have been there as far back as 2023, and they are carrying it forward. You understand? So, like you said, it's a game. It's just that we shouldn't be the pawns that they are going to use in this board game.
Okay.
All right. Widow, late Nigerian boxer's family clash over estate. And I don't know why that happens all the time. You know, when somebody dies, you know, the people who didn't even lift a finger, you know, to put stuff together, start to fight. I just think, you know, it is greed, and it's not restricted to, or it's not Nigerians alone, you know, that do that. But it's just it's a human thing, you know, greed and selfishness. The wife of the deceased is alive, and family are coming to fight for the property. You know, it's I don't know.
Is there a law that protects wife and children from family trying to take over late husband's property? Those guys should be put to. They should rush them to jail.
They should be, you know, because
They should rush them
it's so
to jail.
embarrassing.
What's
In the
that?
thick and thin, through the thick and thin, you didn't stand by the man.
Even if they
And
were
I'm
standing
not
by.
even saying this because I'm a woman, but I'm just thinking that the Yoruba say that the hand that peels the egusi is the one that should wait to eat
the
the
egusi
soup,
itself,
you
baby.
know. So, all right, 2 killed in
But I've heard some
Odo.
people to peel egusi, and I did not eat that. So when I was growing up, my mom would say, "Love, mommy, egusi." We do it and we go back to our house. We don't even know what they do with it.
All right, Q2 in Ondo APC bloody Congress. And finally, from the Punch newspaper, Ramadan Lent Atiku, Tinubu Atiku governors preach unity. It's not about preaching. We keep saying this.
You don't get scared about the second to the last story that you took. It looks like you just took it briefly and then because you saw.
No, you know why I took it briefly. I'll tell you very quickly. When things no longer seem to be news, you know, then I don't think one should dwell too much on it, because the truth is that by tomorrow I'm sure you have like 6 similar stories to discuss the same thing. All through last week, that's what we discussed. Even on Tuesday, we discussed killings, we discussed kidnappings, we discussed all sorts of things, you know, in that regard. So again, you know, do we really want to dwell on this today? But
not really though. But you know, this is not even case of kidnapping or insurgency. It's a case of, you know,
a clash.
A clash between political
Parties.
One, they are the leading political party in federal, they are the leading political party in Ondo State. It shows how opposition will start getting scared. If you guys can kill yourself in just a Congress, then what happened when you guys go to the field for the election? I mean, they've not even, have they had primaries? No. They were going to have Congress, then have primaries. Congress will produce the executives and the like. So if you can have issues like this, killing two and leaving so many people injured. Yesterday, the APC state chairman of Ondo was beaten. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? He was beaten the day before yesterday, and yesterday 2 persons were killed in Idori. And it feels like it's becoming very dangerous. If you check those guys that were killed now, they are probably just maybe ordinary members of the party, or one of those guys that they use as tools, you know, to execute, you know, nonsense, whatever, or to implement their wicked whatever thing they always implement when the election is coming. So I just feel like it's looking more dangerous for the gubernatorial election in Ondo State. I've been trying to monitor closely 1 or 2 things from that place.
And I've been trying to listen to you, you know, and try to decipher, you know, what exactly seems to be different from what we usually have in what we just discussed now. I'm not really finding anything that's different, because this is the norm. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But this is the norm, you know, this is the norm, unfortunately, where there is politics at whatever level. This is just like you said, Congress.
Now, in fact, and it
Just,
is even ward,
you know,
it's ward level now.
Yeah, so this is happening. It happened before, it's happening now, it's going to happen again.
From my end, maybe Rio's reaction will be as a function of this is 2026, and you know, I mentioned one step forward is better than just running around in circles.
On the same spot.
By now, we are used to these things. We know these things happen. We know people will be desperate to get positions and all of that. At least they are even doing it physical. The ones that they do spiritually, that you cannot connect, you don't know what happened to who. We should have a way of holding people down. The peace accord that they always have ahead of the presidential elections is always about, look, if violence happens and is coming from this channel, we know, though they never hold, they never put
never
it,
held
but
anybody.
we need to get to that point where we will now start. So if I must find a civil way of knocking you off my way, not by killing you, not by
violence, you know, not by violence. I mean, must it come with well,
a lot of times the injured or the killed are sometimes not even at the center of this whole
they're
thing.
just innocent people.
Yes.
All right, so let's look at the Nigerian Tribune. Rio, can you?
Yes, the lucky stories that made it to the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. From the banner headline, Tinubu signs Electoral Act 2026. The writer says, our law must grow with experience. New law alters INEC February date for presidential NAS election. Presidential NACS poll to hold in January 2027, says Abbas. Our inputs were painstaking through thoroughly, says Akpabio. Amended electoral acts may undermine transparency, ex-INEC director says. 33 miners died in tunnel in Plateau. Federal government closes site, dispatches forensic investigators. 2 killed during Ondo APC World Congress. Our church attack. Witness tell court how cell phones analysts implicated alleged attackers. Tinubu signs executive order for direct remittance of oil gas revenue to federation accounts. And the Nation. The banner headline on the Nation is a picture story, but then you still have the picture of a president. Electoral Act 2026 goes into effect. President signs a revoked bill. INEC gets leeway to reveal election timetable. Election can now hold in January. And of course, the highlight says mandatory e-transmission of results IREV now legal. INEC notification date cut to 300 days. Parties can pick candidates through direct or consensus process. Statutory codification of beavers. Strengthening of sanction for coalition infractions. Reinforced control over voting. Digital verification of party membership registers. An EO OK's direct remittance of oil gas revenue. Failure to protect investors. Determine FDI says Towell Johnson. APC Old World Congresses nationwide. And finally, DSS arrest El-Rufai after release of EFCC. That's what the Nation is saying, but other paper says ICPC arrest El-Rufai after the release from EFCC. JAMB registers over 1.5 million for 2026 UTMA. Those are the lucky stories that made it to the front pages of the Nigerian Tribune and the Nation.
Yes, and finally, let's look at what the Guardian has to say. The above the nameplate IPAC OB Flay police clamped down tear gas of protesters at National Assembly. Holy month, Tinubu Obi urged spiritual reflection, commitment to shared humanity. Reps fault poor funding of security intelligence. 2027 credibility battle shifts to INEC as Tinubu signs Amendment Electoral Act. You can find that story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. FCT polls. INEC pledges e-transmission of results. Mixed reaction protests trail Delta APC Ward Congress. So just exactly what I said. We just talked about Ondo. Now this is Delta. If care is not taken before we know what's happening, somebody is killing somebody. Gencos reject NLC's extortion claims, say sector battling 6 trillion naira unpaid bills. Tinubu orders NNPC to remit oil revenue to FAAC as rig counts stagnates. And finally, from the Guardian newspaper, telcos reject objection to e-result transmission, insist on national coverage. So INEC really, just as Rio said, is really not independent, because if telcos can also insist on what they want and how they want the elections to go, then INEC had actually shot itself in the foot, like we rightly said. Okay, Rio, I want us to take one of the stories from the Nigerian Tribune, and let's see how we can put that on the table and slug it out.
I feel like to discuss almost everything we have on this
Already?
place. Yeah. Aside
Okay, so
from
if
the
not, then let's look at the
our
rape.
church attack, I don't think they've gotten. Okay, the 33 miners that died in the plateau, and that's in page 4. I think I saw it this morning. I'm trying to know if they are illegal or.
Yeah, I can't remember the headline that came with it.
So there's
But there's a ban.
a carbon monoxide link at a mining site in Kampani, Zorak community of Wuse local government area of Plateau State, claimed 33 lives with several others hospitalized. The number of casualties was confirmed in a statement by the state government. A reliable source close to the site owned by a private mining company, name withheld, told the Nigerian Tribune that the tragedy occurred at about 7 a.m. on Wednesday as the miners aged between 19 and 30 were working in a tunnel. I don't want to go further, but it's a private miner company, and I don't know what's up with the government, but we heard that it's been shut down. A lot of people were hospitalized, and the people that died were within the age of 19 and 30. And that place was almost like underground. And I just imagine private company or government employing such people to go face or do that kind of dangerous work.
Well, mining has always been a dangerous
It's always
work,
been
and
dangerous,
somebody
yes.
must do it. I mean, way back in the past, you know,
Is it always a private business or a government owned thing? Because it has to do with the natural resources of
No, it's always like licensing.
yes.
So
Okay.
you
Well,
have your company, you get your license, and
Yeah.
then so government gets their bit, but you run the business.
precisely. All right, we really can't look at that in depth. We will take a break right now. We're expecting to have guests on the program. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. All I'll ask you to do is just sit back, relax, and have fun. This is MITV Plus, and this is the Bumper Breakfast Show. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
10 singles step into the love pad where love isn't just found, it's tested.
Moving along. I'm exploring.
Lines blur, desire takes over, and jealousy hits harder than any storm.
I'm jealous, and it's not something I hide.
Some find romance they've waited for their whole lives, and where there's love, there's bound to be heartbreak. In the love pad, every heartbeat counts, but in the end, who will find true love?
Ramadan, the only month of blessings and forgiveness, is here again. This is an opportunity for corporate bodies to grow their brands and individuals to enjoy unending blessing from Allah by way of sponsoring any of our ARI programs, specially packaged for this Ramadan period. You can sponsor our call to prayer, Ramadan Tafsir, Taraweeh live from Holy Kaaba, Makkah and Medina, Iftar Family Quiz Show, dawn transmission from 3 to 7 a.m. and lots more at affordable cost. For information on how you can be part of this program, contact our marketing department for details or call any of the following lines: 0803 300 4531 or 0803 515 8756 or 002 928 0721. Ramadan Mubarak.
And the winner is?
And the winner is
The Africa Magic Viewers Choice Awards is back. And on this historic 12th edition, we're not just raising the bar.
Africa Machan.
We are redefining African excellence. From south to west, east to north, and Central Africa, all of Africa is invited. This is your stage. Do you have a film or television project that moved hearts, sparked conversations, or shifted culture? Now is your moment. Submit your work at www.africamagic.tv/AMVCA. Entries open from 11th January to 15th February 2026. Your story deserves the spotlight. Africa is watching. The 12th edition of the Africa Magic Viewers Choice Awards is brought to you by Africa Magic in association with MultiChoice. Proudly sponsored by Don Julio.
Welcome back. It's still the Bumper Breakfast Show, and like I said before we took the break, we have guests this morning, and I'd like to introduce to you Lion Oke Ebuchu. Ebuchu, did I get that right?
Correct.
All right. And he's the chairperson of World Cancer Day. We also have with us Lion Jude Obaro. Am I correct?
You're very correct.
Okay. He's the regional chairperson or region chairperson.
Region.
Okay, regional chairperson, Region 1, District 404A3. Now, both guests are from the Lagos Doyen Lions Club District 404A3. And if you recall, on Tuesday this week, we had guests from the Lions Club as well, and it's all about the World Cancer Day. And of course, we are narrowing into pediatric cancer. It's so good to have you on the program this morning.
Thank you.
I'm sure you have a
Thank
lot
you
to
very
tell
much.
us today. Now, you have been talking about pediatric cancer, the awareness and all of that for a while, about a week now. You've been at this for a while. Now, first of all, I'd like to ask you, what has the outcome been like? Have people started to catch in on it? Have people started to come to you to say, oh, we need your help, we need your support and all of that? Are people becoming more aware, that about how to detect in time, whether their wards or their children have cancer? What for you has been the effect of the publicity campaign that you have embarked on?
Well, it's been rewarding. People are aware, and we are not taking it for granted. What we do is to encourage people, because most people are essentially handicapped because of funds. So we even provide funds to do screening. Okay? We do screening for those who are lucky, because we can't do for everybody, but we do for as many as possible. And people have keyed in completely, because cancer has, I don't know whether technically it's now an epidemic, but it's something that has, we hear stories, because we do it every year. We hear so many people, how will I put it? Debilitated, that's the word, because cancer ravaging the community. We are victims, both of us. My mother died of cancer in 2023. The mother died of cancer only last month.
I'm so sorry about that.
Thank you very much. Had we known what we knew then,
what you know now,
no, what we know now, then it probably would have saved, at least I would have saved my mother's life. So awareness is the key. When you know what to look out for, the signs, then you can catch it early. And when you do normal screening every year, you're able to detect it even before it becomes any kind of problem. So people are aware, but I think the biggest problem they have is finance, because a lot of people really are poor. So we need help from well-meaning Nigerians and donors to assist these people. And there are many other organizations involved in this activity
as well.
Yes.
Okay. So Mr. Lion,
yeah.
He just said that he thinks that the greatest problem is the financial aspect of it. That people they're not financially empowered, so they cannot. Have you ever considered the fact that some people may not be financially restricted, but it's just fear to know what it is?
Yes.
I mean, let's hear from Lion
Obaro.
Okay,
Yes.
I think a lot of some of these things, just as my chairperson just mentioned, I think there's a lot of ignorance. Sometimes people don't even know these things happen. Like what he said, in our own case, we are both branded Lion members, and my mother died of cervical cancer, just like his mother too. Sometimes I think the issue is not that maybe they are afraid to do the test, because nobody wants to die. From experience, each time we have our outreaches, our activities, a lot of people come out, because number one, they know it's free. All of the test is paid for by Lions Club. You understand, all of the advocacies, the awareness, and all of that. But I think sometimes we need to inform the people, educate them, that cancer is not a death sentence if they know on time. If they know on time, it's only death sentence, you know. And so I would encourage them to, just go to a public health place to check. It's very important. That is what we really do. We do a lot of awareness. We do a lot of educating the people, because the earlier you know, the better for you.
All right. You want to add to what he said? Okay.
That is the cheapest aspect of the whole thing. Going to check. For 15,000 naira, you do a PSA test. For 6,000 or 7,000 naira, you do a mammogram. For another 15,000, you do a pap smear. Now, that is the cheap aspect of it. That is what we're educating people. That
nipping it in
nipping
the
bud is actually the cheap aspect of this thing. You can find 15,000 somewhere if you try hard enough every year. So the problem is when it catches you. That is where the biggest headache is.
Spread.
Yes, that's where the biggest headache is.
So what Lion okay is saying is, look, don't let it catch you. You catch it first. Am I correct?
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head.
All right. Yeah. So your funding. You guys fund a lot of these things. How do you get your funding? Because you're giving. Are you getting?
Yes, we do get funding from well-wishers, other partners. We have to fund ourselves as well, because you can't be a member of Lions Club, you can't put your money down. That is the joy. You are making a sacrifice. We do get
leadership by example.
Yes, we do get plenty of funding from well-wishers, friends, organizations. We do, but we need more. That is for sure. It can never be enough.
It can never be enough. Everybody's an Oliver Twist.
Yes.
Okay, Lionel Barrow, since it can never be enough, what measures are you taking to ensure that you expand your course to be able to get, more funding, so that you can reach out to more children? That's the first question for you. And the second question for you is, why have you decided to narrow in or focus on pediatric cancer this time? So
okay.
Two questions in one.
Two questions in one. Let me take the second question first.
Okay.
Every 12 months in a new year, we have a calendar activity. At Lions Club, we have calendar activities. Now, February is cancer. We have started like 10 days ago, like 2 weeks now. Some 2 weeks ago, we were at Mitv Medical Center, where we carry out some awareness, advocacy, and then we also paid for a couple of people that came to attend the program for their test. You understand? So it means that first and foremost, before you be a member of Lions Club, you either be a professional, a businessman that is doing well. Because to be a Lions member, you must put your money, you're a philanthropist. As a philanthropist, you put your money down, So that is where we start from. We put our money down, we speak to our friends to also support our cause, knowing that some of them don't want to be members of your club. They don't have the time.
But they can support you.
But they can support you.
Yeah.
So that is how we reach out for more funds, so that we can expand, the awareness and the advocacy for the pediatric the childhood cancer, and so that is how we raise our money, our funds, to support this cause, to support the children that are, battling with cancer and their families, and then.
And why children? Why did you choose children?
This year, cancer, we started with the pediatric. Sorry, not with the pediatric. We started with the cervical cancer and the prostate.
Okay.
Like I said, we're at the Federal Medical Center. We dealt with that. Now, so this week we are dealing with the childhood cancer. We make sure we cover the entire cancer.
Now
spectrum.
I get it. Now
yes,
I get it.
Yes.
Now I get it. Okay, so I kind of got confused because we also had guests either this week or last week, and they were talking about pediatric cancer. So I'm thinking that's your focus, that's your focus for this World's Cancer Day. in the Lions
We
Club.
usually cover the entire spectrum
Or
of cancer.
apparently
yeah.
you've been dealing with other kinds
aspect of it,
aspects
yes.
of
Cancer.
cancer.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And what now this is for you, our chairperson. what has your experience been like?
First of all, it's very rewarding to help people.
Tell me about it.
The joy.
Tell me about it.
Some people cry.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so, and when you meet like minds, some people are cancer survivors, because they know where it pinches, they are able to give their whole. Okay, so it's very rewarding. I think I will leave it at that, because I wouldn't say that those who are impacted, when you're suffering pain, all you want is help, relief and all that. So we do what we can for them. But, it's as much, we just do as much as we can. But for us, it's a massive joy. And if our campaign can help reduce cancer incidence in Nigeria, or at least catch it early, so that people will not suffer the debilitating impact of full-blown cancer, our job will be done.
Now, what do you think? You see, it's good enough to want to help people treat cancer. It's good enough to want to be there for them in this kind of situation. But again, we should also look at the source. Let's go to the root cause. What are some of the things that people need to avoid so that they don't end up in this situation, besides the screening?
Nobody want to go first?
Okay, at the Federal Medical Center 2 weeks ago, where we had the program I said was meant for to create some form of awareness, advocacy, support system that we created, to look at all of these issues of cancer. For instance, I served by a survivor. She's over 70. She shared her experience. She told us how the Lions Club, over the years have supported them. I mean, the patient and her family and all of that. And we've been consistent over the years. You understand? I think, like my chairperson said, when you have a loved one going through that, you have this power to want to do more, and to want to make sure that you don't see people go through pains and all of that, And so for us, we are out there to see how we can help our community, to help reduce this very,
very unfortunate. Yes.
You see, our society, we're a bit careless. What we eat, we have our traders using chemicals to ripe fruits, using sniper on beans. These things will kill us eventually. We don't have clean water. We need to change the society. Society needs to change. So we need to change our eating habits, diet, reduce junk food. Doctors will tell you that. You do your best, then you leave the rest.
All right, do your best and leave the rest. That's our cue out for today's small session that we had. Thank you so much, Lion. Okay. And thank you so much, Lion Jude, for coming on the program. Thank you so much for the effort that you're putting in, to ensure that you're reaching out to people and touching people's lives.
Thank you.
May God continue to uphold and strengthen you all.
Amen. Thank you very much. We are grateful to be here.
All right. It's another final break that we'll be taking, and when we return, we'll be saying our goodbye. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. So, Bumper Breakfast Show, MITV Plus.
Ramadan, the only month of blessings and forgiveness, is here again. This is an opportunity for corporate bodies to grow their brands and individuals to enjoy unending blessing from Allah by way of sponsoring any of our ARI programs, specially packaged for this Ramadan period. You can sponsor our call to prayer, Ramadan Tafsir, Taraweeh live from Holy Kaaba, Makkah, Medina. Iftar Family Quiz Show. Dawn transmission from 3 to 7 a.m. and lots more at affordable cost. For information on how you can be part of this program, contact our marketing department for details or call any of the following lines: 0803 300 4531 or 0803 515 8756 or 002 928 0721. Ramadan Mubarak.
Welcome back. It's the Bumper Breakfast Show. So it's a welcome back and it's a time to say goodbye. All right, Adebayo is back on set and so is Rio, and it's time for us to say our goodbyes. Adebayo.
Oh, yes, like I always say, wherever you find yourself, just do the right thing. It's been Adebayo Elupeju. I'm wishing you a wonderful weekend.
Rio.
This man was just preaching since. He was just preaching since. I've heard the make back call. It's Ramadan. Okay. Anyways, I am Ambassador Robin Emmanuel Oluwafemi. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, and just before I say goodbye, I'd like to say congratulations to my lovely daughter, Dr. Adeola Aderile. Congratulations on your bouncing baby girl. We received her yesterday and I'm still so excited. And on that note, I'd like to say thank you so much. I'd like to say thank you for watching the Bumper Breakfast Show. We hope to see you again tomorrow. Rio is going to be here and he's going to be the pilot of the show. So join us tomorrow on the Bumper Breakfast Show. My name is Tom Aderile. It's been a greatest pleasure being here and I hope to see you some other time soon. God bless you.